All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and much salutation to you elect Akim across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. I want to say shalom to the diaspora that look like the other nations, but are actually Israelites, all right? And those are the ones that believe in the doctrine. And I also want to say shalom to you few sincere sisters that are out there that actually do believe. All right, I'm the brother Sha'ar from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, and I want to come at you all with the lesson. All right, I can't tell you if it's going to be short or a little longer. It all really is just based on the spirit, okay? But when you read these scriptures, you constantly find hidden manna everywhere. All right. And Yahweh Shai comes in the volume of the whole book, as is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 7, and also too in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 7. Okay. And the thing about Yahweh Shai is he fulfilled the whole law. All right. Now, does that mean that the law is done away with? Absolutely not. But everything that we read about the law, all right, is pertaining to Yahweh Shai in some form, in some way, form, or fashion. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to go into this lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. Okay. And it's going to be one of those lessons where you find something written in the Old Testament and it spiritually represents something bigger. Okay. So today's lesson is going to be based on Joseph of Arimathaea. Okay. And for the ones that doesn't know who Joseph of Arimathaea is, he is the one that begged Pontius Pilate to take Yahweh's body down, all right, off the stake so he could bury it in a sepulcher. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read up just a little bit on Joseph of Arimathaea. All right. In this website that I'm on right now is the history of the holy disciple Joseph of Arimathaea, Robbins Library Digital. Now, of course, when you find certain things online, of course, you know, to take certain bones out. But there's just a quick little point that I want to go in here, and then I'm going to jump to a few scriptures. Okay. So when you go into this, it's just talking about Joseph of Arimathea, who was a rich man, by the way. It says the person we are going to speak of named Joseph was a just, holy, pious, and devout man, born at Arimathea, otherwise called Ramath, and afterwards Ramula. It was a city formerly allotted for the Levites. All right, remember that part. Arimathea was a city that was formerly allotted for the Levites, and situated near Sophim on Mount Ephraim, near the confines of the tribes of Benjamin and Dan. It is also noted for being the birthplace of Samuel the prophet, who here lived and died and was buried. Okay, now that's all I wanted on that point there. Okay, now it said the prophet Samuel was also born there. So let's get this here in 1 Samuel chapter 1, starting from the top. Now there was a certain man of Ramah Isophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. Now, just going to this point, you're reading about the prophet Samuel's father and the prophet Samuel's mother. Now, the point that I wanted to go in just to back up what was read earlier, when it says, I mean, it's really difficult to pronounce this one right here, but it pretty much the root of it is Ramath. Okay. So Arimathea pretty much is a newer name for the city of Ramath. All right. Which was allotted for the Levites, which Samuel, who was a Levite. All right. And it's a reason why I keep pointing this out. And, Lord willing, you brothers will get it here later on here shortly. Okay. But it says Ramathaim Zophim, double height of the watchers, the home place of Samuel, located in the hill country of Ephraim. Okay. So remember, the Levites were given the portion of the priesthood, all right, and offering of sacrifice. So they didn't have particular lands that was exactly allotted for them, but the Lord had given them particular suburbs in regions where the 12 tribes were in the land of Israel. Okay. So going back to the article there, well, just going back to the point that was in the article, it talked about how Joseph of Arimathaea, all right, which is actually Ramath, was a city that was set up for the Levites to dwell. Okay. Because you remember the Levites were pretty much in different regions of Israel, because all the tribes, whenever they transgressed, they would have to go to the Levites to offer up sacrifice, or whatever the situation was. If sacrifice had to be offered, they had to go to the priesthood and do that. Okay. Now, there's a scripture that I'm going to find here. Bear with me one sec, Baba Kashaw. All right. I believe it's in Numbers chapter 4. I'm going to go to the book of Numbers chapter 4 and just want to go into a particular part that I had seen. All right. Numbers chapter 4, verse 15. And when Aaron and his sons have made an ending of covering the sanctuary, and all the vessels of the sanctuary, as the camp is set forward, after that, the sons of Kohath shall come to bear it, but they shall not touch any holy thing, lest they die. These things are the burdens of the sons of Kohath and the tabernacle of the congregation. All right. So really just going to the point there. All right. This here was an example showing you that pretty much the sons of Aaron, the priests, were the ones that covered up all the holy things. All right. In the tabernacle. OK. And part of the things in the tabernacle that were covered up, all right, was also the Ark of the Covenant. OK. They all had to cover it up. Matter of fact, this is another point right here. This is Numbers chapter 4, verse 5. And when the camp setteth forward, Aaron shall come and his sons, and they shall take down the covering veil and cover the ark of the testimony with it. Okay. So how this was done, when the ark of the covenant, with the ark of the testimony was covered up, anybody just couldn't do it. Anybody just couldn't do it. All right. It was only the priests, but technically the sons of Aaron who were the priests. OK, when it came to covering the ark and uncovering the ark, that was a lot that was allotted toward the Levites. OK, the priests. All right. Now, when you go into it spiritually, Yahweh Shai represents the ark of the testimony. OK, and when you go into the ark of the testimony, all right, it pretty much how it was made. It was the ark. But then you had the two seraphims that was on it whose wings was touching. OK, so just to go into that, and I remember Apostle Gabar had done a lesson going into this. Now, this goes into the point where after the stone was moved in Yahweh Shai's sepulcher, when Mary stood, this is what she had seen. In the book of John, chapter 20. And let's start at man, really, I would love to start from the top just to kind of establish the point. OK, it says, the first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taketh away from the sepulchre. Because remember, there was a stone that was covered over the sepulchre door. OK, and we're going to get that here shortly. But I do want to bring this point out real quick so we can help edify on what was read about the Ark of the Testimony, or what was spoken about it. Verse 2. Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciples whom Yahweh Shai loved. Disciple whom Yahushua loved. So this is Peter and John the Revelator, all right, who later on will become John the Revelator, all right, and saith unto them, they have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him, all right. So these women thought Yahushua was taken away, all right. Peter therefore went forth, and that other disciple, which is John, and came to the sepulchre. So they ran both together, and the other disciple did outrun Peter, and came first to the sepulchre. And he, stooping down and looking in, saw the linen clothes lying, yet went he not in. Then cometh Simon Peter, and remember these linen clothes, by the way. All right, I do want to say that. Remember these linen clothes. Then cometh Simon Peter following him, and went into the sepulchre, and seeth the linen clothes lie, and the napkin that was about his head, not lying with the linen clothes, but wrapped together in a place by itself. Then went in also the other disciples. So Peter walked in first, and then John. John ran and beat Peter there, but out of order and respect for Peter being the head, he didn't walk in there first. All right, but Peter walked in first, which shows you an example of order. Okay. Then went in also the other disciple, which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. And what he believed, that Yahushua was risen from the dead. For as yet they knew not that the scripture, that he might rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again unto their own home. All right. So now they had went to their own home. They bore witness that Yahushua wasn't there. But Mary stood without at the sepulchre weeping. And as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre. This is the point. Remember the Ark of the Testimony, how it had the two seraphims on the outside. All right. And then you had the Ark of the Testimony. All right. And seeth two angels in white sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Yahushua had lain. And they said unto her, Woman, why weepest thou? She said unto them, Because they have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have laid him. And when she said thus, she turned herself back and saw Yahushua standing, and knew not that it was Yahushua. Yahushua said unto her, Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou? She, supposing him to be the gardener, said unto him, Sir, if thou hast borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away. All right. So she was thinking he had taken him away, not knowing that it was Yahushua. All right. But the point going into it was verse 12. It was a reason why it was worded. One of the angels was standing where Yahushua's face was to be laid, or was laid, and the other was stood at the feet. All right. You have the two angels, and then you have the Ark of the Testimony. Yahushua represents the Ark of the Testimony. All right. But remember, the thing that was left was the linen that was laid over Yahushua. Okay. Now, going back to the point in the book of Numbers, the 4th chapter, I'm going to read this here again. Numbers 4 and 5. And when the camp setteth forward, Aaron shall come and his sons, and they shall take down the covering veil and cover the Ark of the Testimony with it. Okay, so the Ark of the Testimony was covered by these particular priests. All right. And these priests were Levites. OK, now, since we've established that Yahushua does represent the Ark of the Testimony, and that linen that he was covered up with was laying there, who covered it up? All right. If Yahushua represents the Ark of the Testimony. OK, so who covered him up? I got this verse here in the book of John, the 19th chapter. All right, let's go to the point. Let's see here. All right. So this is after Yahushua was crucified, and this is after Yahushua had given up the ghost. This is taking place right afterwards. Okay. This is John chapter 19, verse 38. And after this, Joseph of Arimathaea, being a disciple of Yahushua, but secretly for fear of the Jews, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Yahushua. And Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Yahushua. All right, so Joseph Arimathaea, all right, he was a secret disciple of Yahushua, all right, along with Nicodemus, okay, and these two actually were Pharisees, okay, they were part of the council of the Sanhedrin, okay, which were the Pharisees. But remember, you had wicked Pharisees, but you also had righteous Pharisees, okay, and Joseph Arimathea was also a man who was well off. He was wealthy. Okay. But going back to the point, Joseph of Arimathea was the secret disciple who begged Pilate to take Yahushua's body down off of that stake. Okay. And he done it in secret. Verse 39. And there came also Nicodemus, which at first came to Yahushua by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100 pounds weight. All right, and myrrh and aloes, this is something that's very pricey, but when it came to the embalming of the dead, okay, whenever they were wrapped up, all right, you embalmed the napkins, and you embalmed the linen with these particular oils. And when you look at the benefits of these different oils of myrrh and aloe, a lot of them are very good for the skin, and they pretty much they prevent aging. All right, they allow your skin to age slower. All right, which shows you that was a key indicator, which the Lord can do anything, but it's the reason why this was wrapped up, and Yahushua was wrapped up within this. Because mind you, when somebody's dead for 3 days, you have to remember, man, your rigor mortis is already set in, and really technically the 3rd and 4th day, that's when your body starts decomposing. Okay. So that oil pretty much helps slow the process down of that aging and that decomposition. All right. Verse 40. Then took they the body of Yahushua and wounded in linen clothes with the spices, as the manner of the Jews in the bury. All right. Into bury. I'm going to read that again. Then they took the body of Yahushua and wounded in linen clothes with the spices, as the manner of the Jews is to bury. All right. So it was a common custom for the dead to be wrapped up, all right, in these particular oils with these cloths. But Yahushua was wrapped up by these particular individuals, one of them being Joseph of Arimathea. All right. Now, when you go back to what was read about Joseph of Arimathea, he was from Arimathea, which was called Ramoth, which was a city that was preserved, or a suburb that was given to the Levites, where the Levites dwelt. And that's where the prophet Samuel dwelt, who was also a Levite, who was also a priest. Okay, a high priest at that. Okay, so it wasn't just anybody that wrapped Yahushua up, but it was particular people to do it. All right. Now, who does Yahushua represent? Yahushua represents the Ark of the Testimony. All right. Who are the ones that was given the lot to cover up the Ark of the Testimony? It was Aaron and his sons. Now, Joseph of Arimathea was also called a secret disciple. Okay. Now, we understand that right now it's not just about being a Levite or whatever. Okay. Because after Yahushua had died, the veil was split, which means that all of the nations of Israel have the right way to offer up spiritual sacrifice under the order of Melchizedek, with Yahushua being the chief, with Yahushua being the high priest. All right. And all the prophets that believe and that prophesy, and the priests that offer up sacrifice now, are of all the tribes of Israel. But just going to the point, Joseph of Arimathea was a disciple, but he was also from the land that was allotted to the Levites, to the priests. Okay. According to the law, the priests had to cover the tabernacle. It couldn't be nobody else to do it. All right. Joseph of Arimathea was one of the ones that covered up Yahushua when he was buried, who represents the Ark of the Testimony. Okay. So again, you find hidden manna all over the scriptures, but it was on my spirit to just go into this lesson. When I was reading it, I found it very interesting. All right. Just going into the point. Okay. So I'm going to end it off on that. Okay. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and many salutations to you, elect Akim, across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.